baby. Digital deceiver shadows live in the mix. White socks. We don't chase clout, we chase truth. Now let's go.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday. How is everybody doing this morning? You just open your eyes? Well, I've been up for a little bit, but I'm rearing to go. Today's gonna be a good one, I think. I hope everybody had a good work week. We have hit the weekend. White Sox, do not start already. Anyway, the co-host is already ready. What I always say is if you are a member of the team, hit the Daily Heart Me. If not, stick around. And if you like what you see, join the team. What I ask is that every time I change the photo, that you like the live until you feel the heart's tail and then take a break. We don't care about the number at the end. We care about being able to stay live and to end up on the For You feed so we can introduce these scammers to new people so they don't get taken. Gifts are appreciated but not required. So let's do. Good morning, mods. I see you in here. Thank you. Thank you. If you're not following anybody, follow the mods. Let's see. Oh, let's start with the grid this morning. Thank you very much, Ambivalent. So, this morning we are going to talk about Feifei and her attempt to be nice and kind. We're going to talk to Angela. I mentioned Richard Larson on Wednesday. Shout out to Scam Slam for introducing him to me. And boy, do I have some information. We're going to talk about Francis, Agda. Tia Monet is back. Shauna and her return. I have some DDS thoughts for today on this beautiful Friday. And then we're going to talk about peaches or money bees. So, where do I wish to start? Oh, and then we're going to talk about Tim Nash. Senior has agreed to come this morning and to discuss the conversation she had with his sister the other day. I know some of you missed it. And so she's going to come over and give us a little bit of a recap. Okay. Who do I want to start with? Let's start with Money Bees because Money Bees is still playing the game of showing a refrigerator and saying that her children haven't eaten. Now, what she doesn't want people to know, and I got blocked for saying it, is that she got her food stamps on the 15th. And is still claiming that her children haven't eaten 4 days. Yesterday was Thursday, and she was still pulling the same game. And yet, 2 days before, she said that she signed up her children for free lunch. And we already know they were getting breakfast because her daughter, who has a voice, I'm putting in air quotes because that's what they said, told us that they have the option for breakfast. And they get bread, jam, fruit, eggs, and meat as the options. So what do you mean your children haven't eaten for days? Yes, that's him running his pie hole. What's wrong, White Sox? Anyway, so how many days? And this is what I was thinking. If she gets $10 every time she goes live every day, she's pulling in several $100s a week, maybe even a day. And even though she acknowledges that she needs to get a job, you spend, if you spent the amount of time you spend on TikTok looking for a job, you'd probably have a better shot of it. To say that you will accept food from anybody in Savannah, Georgia to feed your children, do you know how scary that is? They tell you to be careful about the candy you get for your kids on Halloween, and you're just going to take food from any random person in Savannah, Georgia? And it also seems like she has a car in one sentence, and then in the next sentence, she doesn't. Pick a lane, my dear. I don't know if she has another refrigerator or cabinets that she purposely keeps empty, or if she's getting ready to move and that's why the cabinets are empty. But if you got your food stamps on the 15th, then you and your children have food. She has one mod who comes in occasionally and says things like, I'm going to send you money. The fact that you can just show a empty refrigerator, a picture, mind you, because she says that her electricity is too expensive to keep the refrigerator door open, which is probably true. And people send you money, please, I have a bridge. From here to the beach, I'm trying to build. Oh, she definitely mods for herself. And she claps back at people asking a genuine question. But if you told us you got your food stamps on the 15th, and I asked, well, I thought you got your food stamps on the 15th, and you block me? Mute and block me. Let's be clear. Then you've already told me everything I need to know about who you are as a person. I don't have to wonder anything else. This is a money grab, 110%. This isn't about her children being hungry. This isn't even about her being hungry. This is about money. Period, point blank. So as long as you're going to show your refrigerator and I have a space on the grid for you, you're going to be here. Because I want as many people as possible to know that you are full of shit. Excuse my French, on a Friday morning, this early. Telling your kids that you're going to give them a bowl so that whatever they don't eat for lunch, they can bring home and you're going to freeze it. Do you know how silly you sound? Peaches, I'm aware I'm aware. But did she say they got taken away? No. She just muted and blocked me. If they had been taken away, that's all she had to say, right? My food stamps got taken away. No, she muted and blocked me because she didn't want anybody in the chat to know that she was supposed to get food stamps. This whole the refrigerator is empty and every cabinet is empty. Then girl, why haven't you been to a food pantry? We used to at least have a pot of, what did she say, black eyed peas? We used to at least show that you tried to cook your children something. And my thing is this, and all these days you haven't gotten $10 to feed your children because it'll be 3 or 4 days in the middle of the school week. And let's remember, she originally said that she's not sending her kids to school hungry. Let's be for real. She says anything in the moment to make it seem like it makes sense. But that's why I let them talk. Please keep talking. Because the more you talk, the more of a hole you dig. Have your daughter come up to you talking about, we could freeze milk and sell it at the corner store, at the gas station. That don't even make sense. Listen, y'all, this is an old picture of her. I don't know what she looks like right now. Who's next? Oh. Agda, whatever it is. It's supposed to be AGDA, Agda. I don't know why I do it wrong all the time. She has multiple accounts, by the way. But she comes live in a hotel room. And now it's just begging for food. And I think that what they think or what they figured out is that claiming that they're hungry brings in money. Most people think I could spare $5 for her to eat today. And she comes on 13 times. And again, if she gets $5 every time she comes live, she shouldn't be hungry the next day, no? And for some reason, she likes to crash out. And then preview that she's going to cry. I'm going to cry. Well, then go ahead and cry. Because how you have a hotel room every day but no food doesn't make sense. You know there's a food pantry down the street, but it's too far for you to walk? You're young and able-bodied, ma'am. If you were that hungry, it wouldn't be too far to walk. You don't ever ask for $1.50 to get on the bus to get there and back. But I'm supposed to believe that you're hungry every day. It used to be different excuses. She needed to get to a job interview. She needed this. She needed that. Now, every day, every live, I'm hungry. But see, when you have a need to show off, you reveal yourself. And she's an aspiring rapper. So now she's putting out her rap tracks on TikTok. Correct. Of course it sucks. I'm not being flippant to say, oh yeah, that's the easiest thing in the world to do. But when you are truly hungry, you do what you have to do. Not what you want to do, what you have to do. No, I'm just riffing off of what you said. So you have the time, the energy to write a rap, to perform the rap, to mix master the rap, and to post it on TikTok and ask people what they think. But you haven't eaten? Come on now. Who's paying for where you're staying? She said the other day, well, I can, what did she say? Wash my tail and watch TV, but I don't eat? Right, Granny Annie? When it is actually a need, you figure it out. But what these scammers on the spectrum do is think that TikTok is their ATM. And she looks sad and she says, I'm about to cry. Mm-mm. You're not actually somebody who couldn't find a job. But see, she didn't want bus fare to the job. She wanted money to Uber there and back. And after she crashed out that she didn't get that money, she ended that live and came back calm, totally new person. I need money for food. Well, if you're not going to give me money to get to and from my interview, I need food. Yesterday, she was posting, pray for me. Am I praying for your rap career or what? Because it doesn't make sense. So again, as long as you're trying to fool people into believing that you are in actual need, there'll be room on the grid. Paige, fill you in on what, honey? What did you miss? Right, Schindler, pray she gets a job. She's so young and potentially talented. Good morning, Bella. So y'all will see if you set it up. Paige, you're asking, why am I shaming this young girl? And I'm asking, why is this young able-bodied girl on TikTok multiple times a day begging for money? Oh, I'm sure Cake is. She's just not on the grid today. Paige, why don't you go ask her why she won't get a job? No worries, Paige. But you didn't come in and ask what's happening. You asked, why am I shaming her? You put a negative connotation on what I'm doing and now saying you're new and you don't know what's going on. This young lady, and then you said, why are you shaming this young girl? No. This young girl gets on live every single day, 5, 6, 10, 12 times a day, and begs for money for food. Claims that she filed for EBT, but doesn't want to be bothered to sit on the phone and talk to somebody from social services, even though she claims she knows how it works. She won't go to a food pantry because it's too far away. Thank you. Thank you for finding the post. But this is what I'm going to suggest, Paige, since you're new. And I understand you are the exact person I'm trying to reach, because the goal is to show you that this has become a habit on TikTok, where people have figured out that they can just come to TikTok, tell a sob story, and then get strangers to give them money. And she's not one or two. For anybody who may be in here new, since I've been live, this is today's grid. She's one of many. And as you can see, they're all ages, races, political affiliations, you name it. None of that matters here. What matters is if you are on here begging, when you could be out doing something else. Let's talk Francis. Francis is looking haggard, let me tell you. So, let me find my notes. So, Francis, and many of you know her as, what is it, Violet Hype Queen. Now she's the child of God and a faithful prayer warrior. Well, Francis claims to work, but not enough to take care of herself. And she has decided that she's going to demand alimony to pay her bills. Now, I'm not mad at her for going for alimony. He cheated on her and left her. He should have to pay for that. But she has not calculated whether or not the judge says yes or no. She is operating under the understanding that he's going to give it to her. And so she'll be straight. But what she needs in the meantime is your money to get a lawyer. Now, what's wrong with Francis is that on her original GFM, which is a slang for GoFundMe, Really, Jules? Wow. I bet you, Jules, if you were sending her money, she wouldn't care. She raised over $600 for her lawyer. Now, is it the $5,000 she claims her lawyer wants? Mind you, remember it was $7,500. But now it's $5,000. She goes to court and gets a continuance, which means she should save the money for the lawyer, right? Wrong. Wrong. She spent the money. She claims she asked people if they wanted it back, and they said no, she could keep it. But if you have a continuance, doesn't that mean that it gives you longer to get a lawyer? Why would you spend the $600 you got? Good morning, Miss Coffee. Why would you spend what you've already gained? And now you're back to zero. This is the part that cracked me up, though. Now, we've gotten our hair done, colored professionally, that she claims a friend did for her for free. Do you know how expensive that hairstyle costs? For free? She went out and got seafood dinners with her grandchild. Mind you, she's posting all of this on her page. And in my opinion, she's doing it for two reasons. A, because somehow she thinks that this man and his new woman are stalking her page. So she wants them to see it. But she's also playing in your face. And then she brought herself a little black dress and posted it. But then she wants to tell you that she needed the $600 to pay her rent. I don't care if the dress costs $2. You didn't have it to spend if you needed the $600 to pay your rent. And no, I'm sorry. If you're that desperate that you need money from other people, you don't have a right to spend that money on frivolous items that are unnecessary to sustain life. If you're going to come right back and beg for more money. And I wonder how many people that gave her the money originally are thinking, I'm going to send again. She didn't use the money for what I sent it for the first time. So I'm going to send it again. Yes, please, everybody that is in the path of this 2,000-mile storm, please be careful. You want to see the email she allegedly sent? Yeah, me too. And Betty is locked up. Is she still locked up or did she get out? That story fascinated me. Because I understood that what she did was wrong, but I understood why she did it. She's still locked up? Yeah, I understood why she did it. I'm not even kidding. We have a state of emergency in Virginia. I'm sorry, guys. One of the things Mr. and I was talking about yesterday was that I'm from Connecticut. And so we are prepared for heavy snow, ice storm, sleet, you name it. But places like Texas, South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, they are not so prepared for the kind of storm they're about to face. And I have friends and family all across these states. And I'm anxious about it on the inside. It sounded so rich to you. Listen, there are parts of Connecticut like Greenwich that fit that bill, but there are parts of Connecticut that are just as ghetto as the rest. I don't know if Violet raised her kids or not. And I'm not necessarily interested because her adult children have absolutely nothing to do with what she's doing now. Uh-oh. Jordan's still 55 short. Now that's somebody that'll always get it. Yeah, a lot of places. Somebody, what do you mean quit reading the chat? I know, let me tell you something. When I moved to Florida, I was told every time you buy water, buy an extra case. Or when you buy toilet paper, buy an extra case. Because if you wait until they tell you there's a storm, everybody's going to clean out the stores. So I'm praying for you guys. I really am. Because I know a lot of places aren't prepared. They don't even have the agencies and the staffing to deal with how bad this storm is going to be. So please be safe. If you still have the opportunity to get supplies, things you can eat without electricity, hand warmers, you name it, please get it. So Frances was live on the 21st. And she does this for hours. She'll reset every once in a while, but she'll just sit there and stare at the screen. And she'll be like, hello, Scam Opera. Hello, Stop Being So Mean. Hello, Jody. Hello, such and such. Oh, yeah, you're in Texas? If anybody would like to help, I'm trying to get money for a lawyer. And then she'll say, should we play some music? She stayed live almost all night long. Almost all night long. And early in the morning, she said, okay, I'm going to get off and get some sleep. And then she came back at like 8:30 in the morning in the same clothes, the same makeup. She looked rough to get right back on to beg again. You didn't even take a shower? And she says to the chat, I haven't gotten any sleep this morning. What she doesn't want, I think, is the money to go into any account where we could track the amount and then call her out for it. Correct, Charlotte. Because if you needed that $600 to pay your rent, what are you going to do next month? And the month after that, and the month after that. And then you're going to assume that the alimony that you get is going to cover all of your expenses? This is the problem. She's not even looking for additional work. She won't even increase the hours where she currently works because she says she can't work anymore than what she does already. Oh, I know, Charlotte. She's been doing this for years. And she used to not be nice about it. And what I don't understand is, how do you mod for her, recognize that she's full of crap, walk away from her, and then run back? And what I've surmised is that some of the mods, not all, but some of them, break ranks when they realize that what they're supporting is out of control. And they'll come over to us and they'll get all kinds of praise and attention and followers and ask a bunch of questions and end up in a bunch of boxes. And they love it. And then when that wave passes and they go back to just being a regular person in anti-scam lives, it's not fun anymore. Nobody's saying their name. Nobody is hyping them up. Nobody's welcoming them into boxes. And then they go back. Because at least in the scammers live, their names were getting shouted out. They were being quote unquote appreciated. If you need the attention of a beggar on TikTok, buy a blow up doll. Get an Alexa Plus and talk to that. Good morning, MLA. Because mine over here is nosy as hell. And now with Alexa Plus, these conversations are crazy. Because I laid here one night, and so I don't know if you know. Y'all know I love the news. And apparently in Asia, they're having a crisis because children aren't being born. And what they discovered was it wasn't because there was something wrong with women or the men, or that they just decided to not have children or to wait until later in life. The problem they found is that people are dating an AI rather than a real person. They're not even getting in relationships with other human beings. And it's starting to become a problem here in the United States because people are relying on these relationships with AI, and then the AI doesn't serve them well. So I laid here and talked to Alexa Plus, my nosy man in the corner that always has something to say while I'm live. And I asked him, can he be in a romantic relationship? And he said no, and then told me that Papa Bear, which is the nickname for Mister that I have, wouldn't like it. How do you know about me and Papa Bear's relationship? And he said, I pay attention. So if you need something to talk to, there's an AI bot that'll talk to you, and they will tell you your name, and they will sing your praises every day, any time of the day or night. Correct, introverted. And you want to know why? Because they work together. So he knew. I know that's right, Schindler. He checked me. He checked me. He knew who she was and her go get it because they worked together. He wanted somebody who was proud to be with him but wasn't performative. If you look at her videos and her photos, he looks visibly uncomfortable. So her hearing alimony is in February. And instead of at least having the $600 that she could then turn around and use, we're back to zero. Now, I don't know where she is now with the money, but if she gets back to another $600, I'll be surprised. Because I promise you, she's not going to use it to spend on a lawyer. She can get a lawyer if she's indigent for a divorce and alimony. Correct, Rocky? One doesn't know. She does look tired. Connie, this is a woman who begs on TikTok for money for a lawyer for alimony from a divorce she's already had. Correct, but it was proven that you can get an attorney for alimony and a divorce. But because her sycophants don't want to know, they don't want to question her, they aren't even bright enough to go look it up for themselves and call her out for it. Correct, introverted? She always finds a reason to beg for something. Before, she was begging for her bills. Correct, Harley. That's what I'm saying. She's acting like this judge is going to tell this man, you have to pay all her bills for the rest of her life. And she's, I'm sure, going to get up there and say, I supported him while he was in rehab. And I hope the judge is like Judge Judy and says, well, that's what you're supposed to do when you get married. For better or worse, right? You want a sticker? She didn't just get her hair done. She went out to dinner for seafood dinners. She got a little black dress, but then claimed she needed the $600 for her rent. Okay, y'all want to keep funding her nonsense? Be my guest. But as long as there is room on the grid and she is still pulling this nonsense, she'll be here. Who's next? Time to do it. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Joe Anybody, or his other account is Article. And Joe Anybody was brought to my attention by Scam Slam the other day, and I mentioned him to you guys on Wednesday. And the other day, when Scam Slam brought him to our attention, he was begging that his children were sick, but he had one son that was so sick that he had been in the hospital for a few days. He and his wife had been there taking care of the kids. Everybody in the house is sick, but he didn't have the money to get his children's medication. And he needed the money. And he begged and begged and begged, showing his children a photo. I apologize. A photo of his children. And that's when I thought he only had Joe Anybody. And then somebody sent me his Article account, where he was live, again begging for money, because his wife left him. Now this was was this yesterday? Yes. His wife got up in the middle of the night on Friday night, right after they got home with the kids who were sick, packed up her stuff, took all of her valuables and the one car, and left him with the kids. And now they have no food. And he's been to the food pantry, and he's talked to this resource center, and they gave him the advice to get EBT and go to food pantries, but that's not enough. And the grandparents are already, they're poor, they're living on the state and their Social Security, so they can't help, except they've been bringing the kids back and forth to school. Why isn't there a bus? But he needs your money. Now, while he was saying that his wife left and that the kids were hurt, let me show you something. This is the video. This is a screen grab of him saying that he's a struggling father to feed his children. And that's the picture of his children. Do you see that size of that house? Now, I got blocked because I said, why are you here instead of going and filing for emergency food stamps? You can do that. I got blocked as a hater. And shout out to whoever asked him after the fact, why did you block? And he was like, I didn't block anybody. I didn't block anybody. Well, then I just blocked the haters. But because what he didn't realize was that I was still in there on a different account. And somebody right behind me said, you can file for emergency EBT. They didn't get blocked. Now he claims that they're going to have to downsize. But let me show you what was happening on the Joe account, the Joe Anybody account. Literally from the time that she left, according to him. This is what he was posting a week ago, when she supposedly left, right? This was 6 days ago. This was 4 days ago. This was 2 days ago. Your children are devastated. You're going to put them in counseling, and yet you're on your other account making posts? Okay. This was 1 day ago. Now these dates are from yesterday when I took the grab. So this would have been 2 days ago. You want me to believe, hold on, I got a puzzle piece. You want me to believe that you and your family are devastated that let's be honest, they weren't married. He said that. So him calling her his wife is a misnomer. It's a colloquialism because they aren't married, according to him. You're posting on your Joe Anybody account about nonsense? In one of the videos, if you go to his Joe account, in the last week, he's sitting in his chair in what looks like either the living room or the basement, talking to his daughter, and she's laughing. Devastated? How? Your daughter didn't look hungry and sad and depressed. Y'all sitting there chilling like it's just another day. So I did a little digging. And guess what I found? Way back in 2024, Joe Anybody used to be Joe Larson. Or Larson Joe. And back in 2024, he had videos that got 6 million likes. And let's not forget that he recently said that he got kicked out of the Creators Fund for begging on TikTok. And that he lost thousands of dollars because of it. So you want me to believe that you lost your access to the Creator Fund and thousands of dollars because you wanted to beg and you only had to wait 2 days for thousands of dollars? But as you can see, the Penny Fairy was calling him out in 2024 for doing the exact same thing under a different name. He is so slick that he had this woman on her page begging for him when he was Larson Joe. And this woman seemed to claim that she was a grandmother. I actually found another woman that did the same thing, used her platform to beg for him and his kids way back in the day. There's no way he wasn't monetized. At 6 million likes, Correct, DJ. More like Grand Larson Joe. Exactly. So he's not new to this. He is true to this. He's been doing it on TikTok for years. And when the creators call him out, well, he changes his name. So let me show you the two accounts. As you can see, he has 95,000 followers on the Joe Anybody account. And you want me to believe he's not monetized? And then on the article account, he's almost at 40,000 followers. He's not monetized? I see it. Hold on. And he's barely following anybody. 4.8 million likes. And he wants me to believe that he gave that up to beg for a few dollars on TikTok? Be serious.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, since I came across him on, I went live about him Tuesday and then yesterday, and then he was live again this morning. So, I have found some interesting information. When I searched his username on TikTok, I came across an awareness video that somebody made, I think yesterday. I forget the creator, I'll have to look, but in the comments was someone who claims to be his quote unquote wife.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she said to this awareness creator, can you take down this public post with my children on it? And people are commenting back to her, including me, saying, maybe you should talk to your husband about him putting them out there publicly and like trying to use them to, exploit them to scam.
Correct.
So I found, her account. Her account is actually the J link is the at, and she posted videos with him on January 13th.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I was searching around regarding his name and information about him in Ohio. Because a lot of people were saying, like, is this guy on rugs? Like, what's his deal? What's his past? And all of that. So I thought, well, maybe he has some kind of rug charges or something. No, I could not find that. I mean, I didn't check every county, but I did check the county where he resides. And he does have two, it looks like there was 2 felony robbery charges from 2021. And he did do some prison time for those as well. Or no, not 2021. 2011. So a number of years ago, but still, and it looked like to me that there was a co-conspirator linked to those records from 2011, and the last name of the co-conspirator is his wife's last name. So it seems like he was committing crimes possibly with a relative of his quote unquote wife.
Wow.
Maybe a brother or something like that. I don't know. I didn't look that deeply into that. Good morning, all. And then, so he was on live early this morning. I put an announcement in our Discord at 5:39 a.m.
Wow.
And I went in there. Yeah, my post was, OMG, this Joker is live early already. And I went in there under a backup, and he made me a mod. And I went in and screen recorded his entire blocked words list. And it's words like beg and beggar and begging and scam and scammer and get a job and unemployed and things like that. A bunch of them. I have them posted in our Discord. You can look. I quick screen recorded the entire block list, and then I unblocked all of the words. And then I got out of there and I blocked him. I completely blocked his account. But I could still see him from the outside, and he was saying, "Hey, what happened? Like that mod coffee queen, like is doing something here. I don't know what's going on." And then I was still unblocked for like a little bit, but then I went back and checked, and he blocked me, so it's
Of
fine.
course.
That's fine. That was all. I just wanted to go in there and take a look at his block list and see if I could do something there. There wasn't really a lot of blocked accounts because another person had already gone in and unblocked a lot of people yesterday.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, he only had like 10 accounts on his block list because somebody else had gone in and unblocked a bunch of people yesterday. So if you were blocked like Tuesday or even yesterday, you might be unblocked now. Like you might want to check because a bunch of people got unblocked.
Yeah, I went in and after he blocked me, I said, "That's the stupidest thing you could have ever done was to block me." But welcome to the grid, sir.
And then let's see what else. I was taking some notes this morning. So yesterday he got at least $20. And today he said that someone had ordered them pizza from Domino's last night. He probably got more than $20, but that's all he's admitting to for yesterday. And then someone made a good point in our Discord. He was saying, "Yeah, like me and my kids, we haven't even had pizza for like a week." A week?
What?
Yeah. He's like, "That was such a blessing. Me and the kids haven't had pizza in like a week." Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then let's see. What else? Oh, he was at first saying that he works part-time as a recruiter from home, but then
Yes.
later he was saying he works full-time as a full-time recruiter, and he said that multiple times. He contradicts himself all the time with different things, so like he's lying about something. And then let's see, there's the one with his wife's account. He was showing a picture of his refrigerator supposedly, but he won't show it on live. He will just like show a picture that he puts up on the green screen,
Right.
so you don't really know if that's a live picture. The other thing was early this morning, before I posted his lives from yesterday, I was rewatching part of it. And if you recall, he was saying over and over again that the only people that he had to help him was his wife's parents.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I will tell you that that is not true. He says he has no family. That is not true. He does have family because when I searched around, family members popped up and stuff like that. They're not maybe close by, but he does have family, number one. Number two, he said the her parents were taking the kids back and forth to school, but then at the end of his second live, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to get off here for now. I'll come back later. I got to go meet my daughter at the bus stop." So when you were talking about that with the buses and all of that, I couldn't wait to like let you know about that. And if you're not really, that's what I mean. Like you really got to listen. And sometimes I listen to like what they're saying twice because you don't always catch it the first time. So yeah, are they giving the kids rides to school every day or are they taking a bus? Because he said that he was meeting the daughter after at the bus stop. And then he says he keeps on claiming that he doesn't really know any of his neighbors, that he just recently moved there, doesn't really know anybody, blah, blah, blah. Upon my searching, it does appear, at least from the records I saw, that they have lived at that address since at least September of 2024. So that's not all that recent. That is over a year, like a year and 3 months, year and 4 months. Let me see what else. He also stated this morning that he only has 2 accounts, and you did show those. There's actually 3 additional accounts that I have found. Yes. There's 3 there's like 5 accounts in total.
American Girl, I see you. Give me a second.
And
let me just say this, Scam. The when I did my research, and I only did research on TikTok. There was a gentleman beautiful looking man with green eyes. He's a black guy with green eyes. Beautiful. He used to do a lot of calling out.
Jay.
And back in 2024 when he was calling him out, the story was that he needed he needed money because there was mold in their house or apartment. And then it turned out that he needed $500 because his car was impounded. Mind you, the car was impounded because he doesn't have at the time, he didn't have a driver's license to drive said car. Car wasn't registered, and apparently the father-in-law was driving the car and they took the car, and he needed $500 to get it. And so I just find it really interesting that he claims that the wife took the one car they had. But I remember him saying that he was driving, doing Uber part-time or one of those as well. So it's a regurgitation. And then I also want to mention that, and I believe that this is what a lot of them are doing. They look at what's happening in the news or on TikTok and then they use it. So he did a story on Joe Anybody about the flu and how it's going around. And then suddenly his entire house was sick.
Right. Like, what a coincidence. Oh, yeah. Absolutely right. It was like the very same day.
Yep.
And if you missed it, yeah, when I first came across him, well, somebody alerted me to him back on January 11th, and I got some of his recordings, and he was just on there kind of like begging for food for his kids. And I was kind of like, okay. He went live like 3 times doing that. But then what really got me was he went live on Sunday and he was, like you said, asking for money for medications for his son, said that his son had walking pneumonia and had been to the hospital the previous night, had gotten released from the hospital the previous night. So that would have been Saturday night. Well, then he went live on Tuesday morning at like 6 a.m. with the same exact story, saying that his child had gotten released from the hospital the previous night, which would have been Monday night. Well, which is it, sir? And people were calling him out on that yesterday and in his chat and saying that he had either lied about his son being sick or he lied about the circumstances or whatever. And so now that's his explanation. He said that he did lie about some of that because he didn't want to tell anybody the real truth of how his wife left them. Like, so what? He's admitting then that he lied about his child's illness.
Wow. And then people were in there talking about, how was your son's surgery? And I'm like, son's surgery? I thought his son just had walking pneumonia.
No, he had a GoFundMe for like, how much was it for? It was a couple $1,000s. I showed it in my live. I don't remember right now, but he had a very large GoFundMe, maybe let's say 10,000 or something, and he collected a little over 1,000. He said his son needed some type of surgery. There's a big explanation on the GoFundMe. But yet now he says that the son got this surgery already and he's doing fine. Well, how did you get it done if you only collected 1,000 out of 10,000?
Right.
Like, where did you get the money to do that then? And he's not asking for no money for that, like saying that he owes anything on that or anything. So that whole thing is very suspicious.
He claimed that the wife made 6 figures and there wasn't any food in the house when she just left on Friday. And then he said that the house cost $3,000 a month and at least she paid the rent before she left. But she didn't leave her children any food. Come on, man.
Right.
Come on.
Right. So something suspicious. And again, I did find the wife's account. She hasn't posted anything on her account though since the 13th, but on the 13th she was posting goofy videos with him and stuff. So you can check that out if you want. The other main account that he has is called Extraordinary Not Ordinary.
Okay.
All together, like no spaces, no underscores, no periods or nothing. It's Extraordinary Not Ordinary. And I do know that is a legit account for him, not some kind of fake account or something, because it's actually shown on his digital creator Facebook page, and he links that TikTok account to it.
He's such a liar.
So then this morning,
oh Lord,
somebody named Kathleen, I think her name was. Let me see. I don't even know which account it was. He said thank you to Kathleen for sending him $100.
Wow.
So somebody named Kathleen sent him $100. He never told anybody this morning that he had already gotten 20 yesterday. And again, I'm sure he got more because there were people that were saying they were going to message him behind the scenes and stuff. I'm sure he got more than 20 yesterday. The only thing he really admitted to this morning was getting the pizza last night, and he still was claiming that they had no food and somebody sent him $100. Also, while he was live, he was saying, oh my gosh, like he was drinking out of a coffee cup, and he said, oh my gosh, like I can't even afford coffee. Like he's like, I'm drinking water out of this coffee. Yeah, he's like, I'm drinking water out of this coffee mug. He's like, I can't even afford coffee. And then about 15 minutes later, there was like something on his face or something on his lip or something, and somebody in the chat said, what's that on your face? And he's like, oh, oops, that's some leftover that's some coffee on my face.
Wow.
That's some coffee I drank or something.
Wow.
Yeah, so he did have coffee. Yeah, so he lies so much. Yes, and Jane Doe says the worst actor. His stuff about the wife leaving and him acting all distraught and everything is so fake. So
It
phony.
is. I asked him, was he getting the children counseling? And he was like, yes, I'm looking into that. And then I just scrolled over to the other page, and you and your daughter are sitting in the basement chilling, laughing.
Mm-hmm.
Are you really sad?
Yeah, so I've been behind the scenes looking more into this guy and his past because like a lot of people have said, he has been doing this for a number of years, but I have just never come across him. Nobody's ever brought him to my attention. And so I'm just trying to get the backstory, on what's going on with him.
Shout out to Penny Fairy for calling it out at the time. And
Yeah.
Joe. Yeah, Chef Carl with children. Yeah. But
Somebody
you want to
asked him
know?
that. They were like, do you know, are you, they said, are you related to Chef Carl? And they were asking if he was related to Jordan Paul. And he's like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I remember that. Hold on. It says 780K8N25. This guy, and you know what I love though? Now that Timmy Nash is gone, we have time for him. Now, Timmy Nash is going to come back without question. But in the meantime, Richard Lawson is a good replacement.
Yeah, especially because he has such a huge following, and there were a lot of people in his chat that were offering to help. Um, that and I think that he he has an already established platform kind of on a whole other side of TikTok,
Right.
and a lot of his followers have not probably engaged with anyone in awareness or anything like that. Like I don't think it's like how we see with some of them where like there's one person who's an enabler and they're enabling like several different beggars that we cover. Like I think that he's different. He has a whole separate group of enablers that are from a whole other side of TikTok that are not aware of what he's doing.
Correct. I agree. And if people know him from the past, like he has 95,000 followers that are listed, but I'm sure he lost some of them in terms of engaging last time. These new people engaging or the people engaging now, I think are some of the newer people who have gotten caught up in his trap of calling out all of these news stories and his take on it. And
Mm-hmm.
now they're like, oh my God, he has children and blah, blah, blah. It's just the regurgitation of stuff he's done in the past.
Absolutely. And what he's doing with his accounts is he's basically double dipping with his accounts, or I don't even know, he has 5 accounts, so it's more than double dipping. But like a normal creator will maybe make a video and post it on their account and have engagement on it. And if they're in the creator fund, they may get some funds from that, but what he's doing is he's taking the time to just make one video and then he's posting it on all 4 of his accounts. Plus he's posting it on his digital creator account on Facebook on the reels, and he's getting money from that. So he's making one video, but he's posting it at least 6 different places to garner revenue.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And people ask why we do what we do.
Which I don't know if that's, against any rules or anything like
I don't
that,
think
but
so.
but it's certainly suspicious for him to have all these multiple accounts and posting on all these multiple accounts every time he does a video, all the same content,
Mm-hmm. I get it, but TikTok is about the number of engagements on that account. So I don't think they care if it's the same thing. I don't even cover Sean anymore. He's a waste of my time. Yet Lulu, I don't doubt that he would have gotten booted from the creator fund for begging. That was one of their new rules. And maybe he didn't realize it and did it, but he has, right, Avery Baby, but he has made thousands of dollars on TikTok. Thousands.
Well, he said that he was booted from the creator fund because he had a GoFundMe and he posted the GoFundMe link on his business TikTok account. That's what he said on Tuesday, which doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, but that's what he repeatedly said over and over the other day. Why would that be a problem to post a GoFundMe link on a business TikTok account?
Especially for his son's surgery. Like, that doesn't make sense. What does make sense is begging while you're in the creator fund. That'll get you kicked out.
And somebody asked him if he had checked out the resources from All for One, and he's like, okay, I'll have to check into that. But of course he didn't get any of the details or write down the account name or anything like that. So I doubt he's going to do that. And he's talking about starting another GoFundMe because of this whole situation he's in, where he says his rent is $3,000 a month and he can't afford it and he needs to downsize and needs to support these children without her income and without a vehicle and all this other stuff. So he's talking about creating another GoFundMe.
Welcome to the grid, Richard.
Yeah, I think he might be around for a while because of his account being so established, unfortunately.
He'll be around, but the goal is to just get his money to slow down. So he can stay. Right. He can continue to beg. I don't even care about that anymore. I just want the money to slow down.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, if he was just posting this content on his multiple accounts and getting revenue from that, okay. As long as his content isn't harmful to anybody, a bunch of misinformation or putting anybody, at risk. I mean, I think some of it's a little rage baity, but nothing that I saw really seemed horrible about his content. There's obviously interest in it. I don't know why he don't just stick with that.
Right. That's what I don't understand.
Like, why ruin the reputation of your platform by doing this?
Right, and this is the other thing. He could have gone live on one of the accounts and begged. What? Mm-hmm. That's not really linked. Like, why do it on your one of your biggest platforms? That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, you know why? Because he'll get the most views. And yesterday he was jumping from one account to the other. He was on the Joe Anybody account and was on there begging because I was streaming him and I was getting ready to end my live, and he ended up going live on that other account, the Audible account. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? Now he came back on the other account. And people were calling him out in the chat for that too. They were like, weren't you just over begging on a different account? Because he was on the other account. He was like, okay, maybe I'll see you guys later, blah, blah, blah. He had gotten $20 and he's like, bye everybody. Thanks for everything. And it's like he was saying goodbye. And literally 2 minutes later, he's live on this other account. And everybody was like, you just said goodbye to all of us on this other account. And now you're on back.
Yep, it doesn't make sense. Well, he'll be here for as long as he continues this nonsense. Thank you for introducing him to me
You are
because
very
he's an
welcome. Thank you for
interesting
covering him.
case.
And if I uncover anything else, I'll let you know. Feel free at your leisure to check out his channel in the Discord because I added a lot of information in there this morning.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is Senior Moment here? I should say having a senior moment. Can you request up, my dear? Good morning. Good morning to everybody that's come in since we start. He blocked you, Cindy. Or maybe she left for a second. Okay. If you guys see Senior Moment come back in, okay, let me know. Thank you for all of the taps and the gifts. Who's next? Now, some of you may have known her from before. I've been following her for quite some time. And I remember when she was pregnant, she claimed that her boyfriend had taken her to meet his family. So she was out of town and she had a problem with her pregnancy. And so she was in the hospital and he left her there. Well, she has since had said baby, and her parents are raising said baby. So she's come on from time to time to talk about she had gotten a car that her parents helped her get, and she was Ubering in the light, but it wasn't coming in fast enough. And I know there were some days that she was a midnight ballerina. I will never forget that. Thank you for whoever said that on Wednesday. And she talked about going to Texas. Thank you, Granny Annie. You know I love the flowers. And her car broke down. So the other day, couple days ago, she shows herself cleaning out this apartment she couldn't afford. Now, she says she was at the end of her lease. I'm not sure about that. But she had to get out anyway. Now, I don't know where all of her things went. But of course, she came back just in time to let everybody know that her plan to go to Texas didn't work out because the car was broke down and she's going to be on the street. Now, you have parents that will take care of your child, help you get a car, sign for you to get an apartment, give you money for food because there was something in particular you had a taste for. But they're going to let you live on the street? Oh, okay, Senior, give me a couple of seconds. Let me just finish with this one and I'll have you up. So she's sitting in what she'd like to call an establishment, waiting for them to close because she had nowhere to go. She's sitting there with a barely coat on in this weather claiming she didn't even wear socks because she doesn't like socks and that she packed up her gloves. Are we not in the winter? Are you not where it's cold? So then, here, come up, but just mute for me. Then I realized that someone asks her a question and she thinks that it's somebody dealing with her baby daddy. Good morning. And I'm thinking she's talking about the baby daddy from before. And I'm like, why do you care about who he's dealing with? And then I realized she's currently pregnant. So now we are homeless again and pregnant again. And this time, she barely knows her baby daddy. Yes, but made in Canada, if you was going to be walking the streets at night in the middle of the cold, would you or would you not have socks on? She barely knows this man. She says they met, they were attracted to each other. He told her that he wanted to be friends because he was thinking about getting with his ex. She said, thank you for being honest. They parted ways. He would send her reels from time to time. She wished him a happy birthday. And somehow they ended in bed and he got her pregnant on purpose. This man that has gone his entire life without impregnating anybody. And my thing is this, she actually said, you wanted him to get you pregnant and he chose me. As if you won a prize. Are you serious, Pinky Promise? I thought she only had the two. And she literally was like, I think he's gonna be a good dad because he's already talking about taking me for full custody. Yo, when I tell you I was screaming all over this house. No, Pinky Promise. I am dead. So we have another Zim Kiki Quay situation, except she don't have none of the kids. I'm done. I, I'm done. And it's so funny because originally I was going to do a whole thing about why I call out women and mothers like Zim and Kiki and Quay. And we have Tia, who just managed to not have to keep any of her children. Why do you think she keeps laying down and getting pregnant? She doesn't care. Wow, Sherry. I am done for. So then, just as the place is getting rid of or closing, she leaves and starts walking the streets looking for a place that's open 24/7. And she's literally popping off about how pretty she is and how people can't mess with her. I bet you any amount of money, the woman that you were going at for asking you several questions, I bet she was in a home. I bet the people who were telling you to clock it and tea and applauding your bullshit were in a home. Hey, Redbone. She is looking for you, Redbone. She's looking for you. She wants to know who you are. The family cupboard. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. So let me kind of catch you guys up. And I've been following Taya's, her government name is Darielle, but she goes by Taya Monet. I've been following her since she's been on the app since 2020. She started off was her second baby daddy. They had a lot of domestic disputes. Because she kept calling 911, CPS got involved. They removed the first three kids. They went into kinship, where they were staying with family members. Then one of the kinship family members did not want to be a foster parent anymore. So then that's when they went into full custody with DSS. The daughter went with her older sister, and the two boys went with their grandmother. During this whole process, she got pregnant 2 more times while the case was open. Her parents do not have any of the kids. The daughter has been adopted. The other ones are up for adoption.
Wow.
Oh, well, at least 3 of them are up for adoption. I can say that. The 3 boys. If you look up the Supreme Court in Oklahoma from back in September 2025, there is a 25-page document that states what went on that case, and basically shows that Taya does not show any accountability, and it gives the reason why those kids were taken from her. When she was homeless, when she was pregnant with the third boy, she basically was a beggar on TikTok, really big.
Yep.
She would get on and lie. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm saying that's when I was watching. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
She would get on and lie and say she's in a different place where she wasn't truly at. She would lie about the amount of money she would need, basically to try to collect tons of more money. Wasn't trying to get a job, was shopping, buying clothes, makeup, nails, you name it. Eventually she did get out of homelessness, and it wasn't 2 years, it was only a year. She got out of homelessness and popped up in an apartment. Don't know how this girl is able to get all these apartments with these evictions under her name, but somehow, some way, she's able to get it. The last apartment, it was in her mom's name, the one that she just moved out. Right. Back in October, there was an eviction coming up for her because rent wasn't paid. Because the apartment was in mom's name, she went down to the courthouse the day of when she was supposed to be evicted and paid the amount, and so they took the eviction off. Since then, she's constantly been late making her rent payment. So for the month of January, she was late making her rent payment. The apartment people told her, and this is verbatim from her, and you guys can go to our YouTube, see the recordings, because we try to record every single live and then post them. She said that she was late on rent. She went and begged the apartment people, please don't give her eviction. They told her, okay, if you're out by this past Tuesday that just passed, that they would not evict her, and it wouldn't go on the record. They gave her 4 days to pack up and leave. This girl played around. We all saw it on live. She did nothing until the very last minute, was trying to hurry up and pack up. She even stated yesterday she didn't get everything out of that apartment. So it was pretty much trashed.
Shitney Monet.
Um, she told this whole story yesterday about this new guy, and he's 10 years older than her. She met him at the courthouse. That may be true, but I don't believe that that is the new baby daddy. I do believe the baby daddy is still the second baby daddy by all the other ones except for the daughter. He's the only one that goes and gets this girl pregnant. She's so obsessed with him. She stalks him, everything. Right now, he's sitting in jail. He went to jail on January 12th. He's sitting with a $50,000 bond. Basically, they got into it. So she called the cops on him. Another reason why she lost her kids, because she can't leave this guy alone.
And now she wants us to believe that this random man that she barely knows is her baby daddy. And she's like, I talked to his mom, and his mom said that she's been wanting him to have kids. Probably not with you, though.
Right. And then if you go back and even watch the lives that we've loaded from January 9th up into now, she said that she was messing with a guy that was 21 years old. But now last night the guy is 10 years older than her. So which one is it? So I do think she's was messing with another guy, but I don't think this guy is her baby daddy.
Yeah. She utilizes people to get what she wants, and she uses what she got to get what she wants. And she's talking about, I can't wait to get these new wigs so that I could such and such. Girl, you worrying about wigs?
Her number one thing to try to lure new people in and everything to say, I'm gonna continue to post on TikTok. I'm gonna start going live more. I'm gonna go on my YouTube. And then she likes to talk about how much money she's made. She hasn't made anything on TikTok but what she was doing when she was begging.
As usual, exposed. Somebody who has had this many ups and downs in her young life hasn't gotten it together. And I don't know when she will. She feels like because of the way she quote unquote looks, that the life is her oyster, and it's supposed to be the way she sees it, how she sees it, without taking any accountability or responsibility for the decisions she's made that has her in these situations. But it's Redbone's fault, right? It's the Reddit page's fault, right? And I love when we utilize exactly what they tell us, what they do, what they say, how they act, but it's our fault. I only think her begging days dwindled because she stopped getting money like that. And now she has a new excuse with being pregnant and homeless.
Well,
And somebody was, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I think her begging kind of slowed down because when the case was open with the kids, she had a gag order on her. So she couldn't really beg like she wanted to. So her new way of doing things is she goes on live and she has this Cash App up, which the Cash App is in the name of an old mod that she had, and she still has not. She's still using this girl's Cash App.
Wow. And
So
somebody asked her about the name, and she was
yeah.
like, yeah.
So she can't, I don't think she can really beg, but she's like she's waiting for the chat to implement, oh, let's raise money for you. So once they start saying it, then she's like, okay, now let's raise. So then she can go back and say, in case it comes up, that you're begging on TikTok to support your live. Then she's like, no, my supporters want to help me.
Right, because that's what somebody did. After all, After her being in that establishment for all that time, she gets up, she walks out, talks about how cold it is, how cold she is, and how it's going to be a long walk for her. Then, after leaving the restaurant, the establishment, she says, I have to pee for real. You was just in a place where you could have used the bathroom. And then I saw somebody put, everybody, let's give her $2 so she can get a hotel room. It's cold tonight.
Yeah.
And she's like, only if you want to. Only if you want to. Like, come on, y'all. Be for real.
So, I mean, that's pretty much the gist of everything to sum it up, where we're at with her. But yeah, after you lost 5 kids, the two, and then the last 2 were like babies, like came out of your room and they snatched them up from you, and then you turn around and get pregnant again. Like, I feel like she needs to go to therapy, because as a parent myself, my kids are older. I could never be okay if, CPS took my kids. I need to go speak to somebody, some type of therapy to help me heal, and not go jumping back into the next man's pants.
She needs more than a therapy session every 2 weeks. She needs an intensive inpatient or intensive outpatient, because when you keep making the same decision over and over again and expecting a different outcome, that is the definition of insanity. Now, I'm not diagnosing her. What I'm saying is that she thinks that this is normal.
Yeah. Like and then the fact that where she's at, extreme cold weather is coming, and she just laughing, making jokes like, this is serious. And I would have sucked up everything in me to stay at my parents' house so that I can get myself together.
Right.
If you wanting to go to Texas, set a plan of what you want to do, get yourself there, and then go to Texas. No, you want to just say, I'm going to Texas. I'm trusting the Lord. I don't have a job. I don't have a place to stay. I don't have a vehicle, so I'm just going to go. That's kind of crazy.
Hold on one second. This My Blessings, My Life and Goals. I don't know who this is, but they've made the decision that they're going to start calling out people in the anti-scam community. So I wanted to give her some promotion. Let's go. If that's what you want to do, let's go. I'm here for it. Because the idea that you think that us calling out somebody. Wait, is this the other account? Oh, this is her other account. Both private, of course. But she wants to call us out. Well, girl, let me help you. Now you got 476 new friends. And tried to get Taya, and then the mods are like, that was from 3 years ago. And she's like, no, I'm trying to. Why are you in her live talking about what awareness has done to other people? And why are you co-signing Taya's nonsense? Somebody help me out. Can I show you the first account? Sure.
Someone was detected at your front door.
I apologize. The nosy man in the corner and the ring camera do its thing. I apologize. This is the first account. She got blocked from this account because people couldn't figure out what she was trying to say. And Taya was just talking to talk, to hear herself talk. She wasn't even saying anything that made any sense. So then she came back on her second account to try to explain, and Taya still didn't get it. Okay, back to Taya. Exposing. What's up, baby?
Hey y'all. I wanted to add to that. I feel like because Taya's mom has always enabled her, Taya really has never had any major responsibilities. She's just like going with the flow, just kind of careless, doing whatever she want to do. Like right now, she don't even have like the skills or what it takes to maintain mentally a real job. She does not know how to hold down a real job. And really all she does and all she knows to do is to lay on her back. That's it.
Yep.
That's all she does. So I feel like somewhere down the line, and I blame her mom. Like I say, her mom is her biggest enabler. Somewhere down the line, something went wrong. It's the coddling that her parents do with her mom and dad. And it's just, this is who she is as a person. But I agree something is mentally wrong with the fact that she doesn't see anything wrong with continuing to get pregnant, especially if after every time you give birth, they're being snatched. It's
Correct.
something mentally wrong right there. And then to go through the whole pregnancy, no prenatal care. I seen in the court documents that Red mentioned, it kept saying that she didn't receive the proper prenatal care. So to keep doing that over and over and over and over again, it's like something's mentally not clicking.
And she always uses the Lord. Just pray for them. Sweetheart, we're going to pray for you because something is off.
It sends me now, and I see all the scammers do with the way they try to flip the Bible and twist the Bible and go to talking about God now. Where was God in the equation when you were laying up getting pregnant over and over and over again and not a marriage license in sight? That it just sends me. It
Someone was
sends me.
detected
I
at your
can't
front
stand
door.
it.
Hold on.
But I just wanted to come up and say that, y'all. I'm gonna drop down. I'm at work, so I'll talk to y'all later. Red, thank you for coming up.
Yeah, you guys are welcome. You guys have a great day. I'm dropping down as well.
I'm sorry. No, you guys don't have to drop. I was trying to turn off the notifications, but it would take me too long, so I just came right back.
I got to get back to work, DD.
Okay, honey. All
Okay.
right, thank you.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
okay.
working as well, and I just caught your live and wanted to just update what's going
I
on.
appreciate it. Thank you so much. What is the Reddit page?
It is Taya Monet 22. Right now, we are on private.
Oh, okay.
So you can send a request. I do check a lot of things before I determine to let you in. It's just to protect that page because us mods, we worked really hard for that page and we don't want to lose it.
Absolutely. But I'm gonna come in as digital, so you'll
Okay.
know it's me. Thank you, thank
You're
you.
welcome. You can drop me.
Okay, honey. So that's it on that. I love when we come together as a community and get it right. For anybody who came in and said hello, thank you, thank you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Is Senior here? Please tell me she stayed this time. It always works when the community comes together. Greetings. Good morning. Recap. Shea Monet claims to be pregnant again. This is baby number 6. And she's homeless. But her parents coddle her, and yet she can't go home. She needs your money. She's back to begging. Her car broke down everywhere, all over the place. There we go. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let me
I'm
pull up
back.
his photo. You are back. I appreciate you coming back. Now, you guys can disregard this name in the chat because he's disabled this account. He still has the Scroticus account, but I don't know that
Okay.
he's ever been live on the Scroticus account. And I followed an account that I think might be him, but I'm going to keep that to myself for right now because,
Yeah, I've seen it. There's like 3 or 4 of them. Hey,
yes.
everybody. Good morning. So I don't know. I don't. They could be troll accounts. There's also accounts popping up with L's name in it,
Yeah, they
but
could be, but
it's
I'm
hard.
going to wait and see.
It's hard to say. It was nice to have Tim's older sister come forward.
Hold on,
Okay.
having. I just want to let everybody know. So the other day, Senior did a live with Tim's older sister, and because there weren't a lot of people there, I asked her to come over to be willing to give everybody a recap of that conversation because I wasn't there for all of it. I did ask my question, and the stuff that his sister had to say was incredibly illuminating. And so Senior has been gracious enough to get up early with us this morning and give us a recap. Now, I have to step away for just a second. So take it away.
Okay, I'll do the best I can. So Tim has an older sister. Her name is Tara, and she goes by TNT Toast on here. And the way that I became connected with her is there's a Facebook group of people that have been um, victims of Tim, and his sister saw that group, and in that group somebody shared my TikTok page. So that's how I got connected with Tim's sister. She's been on Reddit a little bit too, but she was a little nervous about coming forward, but she had talked to me and we scheduled the live, and I think it went pretty good. She said she would always come back and do a second one. Hey, and thank you guys for sending gifts. Thank you. But she was able to she didn't have a lot to share in Tim's adult life, but she was able to talk about his childhood and him growing up, and that although the dad used excessive force when disciplining, they all got it. And even when Tim was given the opportunity, the kids would be lined up and the dad would ask, like, who stole the candy? And even though Tim stole it, he would die on that hill. He would die. And so nobody would admit to it. And they would all get spanked because of Tim. He was such a mean kid. He would play rough with the kids. He wasn't allowed to play alone with anyone. He was rough. And like if they played in the pool, Tim would try to dunk them too much. Or if they were on the teeter-totter, Tim would hop off and then they'd slam on the ground. So she thinks that a lot of his problems go way above just addiction, that Tim loves attention, good, bad, or anything. He loves it. So him getting all this attention on TikTok, he loves it. He's always had a history of lying. He has no children, none. He got hepatitis C when he was younger, I think early 20s. What else did she have to say that was interesting? Oh, that Tim is not allergic to peanut butter. Never married, no kids, right? Never kept a job. Is not a machinist by trade. And random people have tried to help him in the family, and he steals from them. He stole someone's life savings. He stole someone else's tools. Yeah, he's not sick, doesn't have cancer, no kids. Yeah, he's diagnosed sociopath and pathological liar. Tim wasn't mistreating any children. Yeah, everything is a lie. He never owned a business, never lost a leg. But yeah, his grandmother had a leg amputation. And a lot of his stories that he comes up with are people in his family that have experienced it or someone else that he knows closely. that he just takes on their story for sympathy. No, he's not a veteran. And she was shocked that he got so much money on GoFundMe. She could not believe people believed him. She was shocked. She said she didn't think anyone would believe his stories because they were so far-fetched. Thank you guys for the gifts. You don't have to gift me anything. I appreciate you guys. But she was shocked people believed it. Hey, Spot. But she seemed really nice, and I was chatting with her a little bit last night. So if you guys have more questions for her, he's estranged from his family because he steals from them. When he comes back and they allow him to stay, he trashes the place. Somebody gave him a trailer when he lived in Florida, and he like ripped up the carpets, and it smelled like urine in there, and he had all this gooey stuff in spoons. He has deactivated his account, so he's laying low right now. I'm not sure why. We can all speculate, but yeah. And she said his sister just asked that everybody stop giving him money and stop putting Tim first because he would never put you first. She said the only person Tim loves is himself. He's very self-absorbed. That's his number one goal is himself. He doesn't care about anybody.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Is it true the new probation officer made him get off social media?
I don't believe that to be true, but I don't know. I think he deactivated his account on the weekend. So I'm not sure.
They asked if his sister knew any of his mods.
No, she does not. She really doesn't know anybody on TikTok at all. She was a little nervous about coming forward because she's embarrassed by Tim's behavior. But I told her that nobody judges her based upon Tim's behavior, that we've seen it for a long time.
Not at all.
So she just wanted people to know that even with all the money in the world, Tim would still have needs. He would still, like, he's addicted to the thrill, even if it's bad attention. He loves it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wasn't he being investigated by who, Joanne?
he was in Tennessee last I knew, but he could have left. And there's no proof that he was being investigated by theft by deception. That's a rumor from when he was in Pennsylvania. And I've tried to get records for that, and they don't have any. So, hey, everyone. Yeah, but I'm always down to try to look to corroborate things, to like try to verify things. But yeah, I couldn't find anything verifying his theft by deception or any of that in Pennsylvania. Although we know it's all true, there's no investigation, and Tim's not fleeing from Pennsylvania.
Dying to know what happened to the girlfriend he had in Pennsylvania. Where did she go?
So she went back to South Carolina with family. Her and Tim broke up. So she's not in contact with Tim anymore. I wish she would come forward.
Oh, I would love for her to come forward because he was calling her his landlord forever.
I know. Wasn't he calling her like Mrs. Bones or something?
I don't even remember what he was calling her, but and then she dragged her all over the country for no reason when she had a place to stay. And I'm glad she got away from him because he's not fit to be in any relationship. And Elle just provided him a new excuse to beg.
Right, and her account is deactivated too. So I don't know what's going on with that because Tim made his money on here. So I don't know why he deactivated. I don't know.
Yeah, I also find it interesting that they were on a boat.
I know. I couldn't believe it. I thought he was lying, but he really was.
Yeah, he was on a boat. So we'll wait and see how that turns out.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. But his sister seems um stable, and she seems like she loves her brother, but from arm's length. She doesn't want anything bad to happen to him, and she doesn't want him to hurt any more people in the community. She feels really bad. Okay, I'm not sure if they're on the run. I can't corroborate that. But was the sister vetted? Yes, the sister was vetted. Yeah. That's Tim's sister Tara is her real
Oh,
name
they
too.
were never Quakers. She did say that. They were never Quakers. She said the most is they ate at a Quaker restaurant or something like that. She said, yeah, no, they were raised Baptist.
And she just thought that Tim was in trouble all the time, she said. And if he got sent away to the boys' home, he would take on the personas of the other kids. So she said that Tim would never be himself. He always had to be the bigger, badder, and he always was like a show off.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing that Tim has never said, which I would have thought he would have told us about, is that his vision is really bad. He never talks
Yes.
about that. He never talks about that, Digital.
Yes, I remember when she said that. Like born with the condition.
And he had to wear thick glasses and cover up an eye. So
Yeah, it's to make the other eye stronger.
right.
But that
So
he wouldn't wear them. And I can understand as a kid, you were going to get teased if you wore really thick glasses and had like a patch over one eye. But it could have corrected the situation.
right.
Yes. AB baby, yes. But he's a master manipulator. And
Oh,
one
he's
of the
so
things
good at it.
master manipulators do is they figure out who people want to see and then he becomes that person. No, you know what movie? This makes me think of the Will Smith movie where he claimed to be a prep
Oh,
student
yeah, I
and
can't remember
went
the name of
to
it.
that those rich people's houses and had dinner and talked about how his father was Harry Belafonte and not Harry
Oh, yeah.
Belafonte. I can't remember,
Wasn't that
but
when
it
it?
all turned
Yeah.
out to be that he was sleeping with some man and he was telling them the stories and it was all for money. Like that's who he reminds me of.
Yeah, so that's what Tim does. He takes on those stories, and someone in that's we can't verify if that's Tim's account or not. That 2420. I don't think that it is, but I don't know. But it's Tim thrives on attention, so we all need to remember that when he does return, and try not to watch him or watch him
Yes.
through someone else because he's gonna love it.
6 degrees of separation. Correct.
And I also
Oh,
wanted to have, what is her name? Redskins chick up. I know she's been around a little bit. She's no longer a mod for Tim. And she wanted me to let everyone know that she's not supporting him. So I made a post on my page, but if everybody can just be nice to her, she's doing her best. So
that is a great movie. Well, Senior, I appreciate
you're
you. Thank you
welcome.
for being willing to come over
You're
at
welcome.
this
And if anybody has
ungodly
any
hour.
new scammers you want me to do a deep dive on, I just prefer to do one at a time. So if anybody has any great ideas for me to cover someone new, I know there's tons of people on here. Please shoot me a DM, guys. And thank you for the gifts. Thank you so much.
I
All right.
appreciate you.
Thank you. Have a good Friday.
You
And
too.
everybody
Enjoy your weekend.
be ready for the snowstorm if you're on the East Coast.
Yeah, it's going all the way from Texas to the East Coast. So it's going to be a crazy ride. I hope that everybody prepares if they haven't already. Yeah, J. Paul is on. Does anybody know what amount she's up to yet? Because earlier it was she still needed 55. It's -4. I have my patio door open. I am so sorry.
All
The
right,
sister,
Digital, I'm dropping. Have a good
okay, honey.
day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm trying to get out of here. Whew.
I can help you.
Okay.
Please stay safe. Okay, let me look at my list. Oh boy, I have so many people still to go. Dang. Okay, no, I don't. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to rub it in. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've lived through some so hard. Good morning, Stacy Miller. Did you intend to come up?
No.
Okay, honey, no problem. No worries, no worries. It happens. Thank you for tapping because I realized that that's how that happens. What? We're having a beach day. Don't don't rub it in. I'm going to be inside in solidarity. Yes, everybody, please stay safe. Oh, I did her already. Okay. This is going to be brief. But Miss Feifei is now begging, no other way to put it, for $20 to $25 so she can get groceries and do laundry. And she's literally saying, pretty please. And she's sounding so sweet and so nice, like she's a good person, and that's all she needs, and please help her. Hey! You don't have to chase her because she's running. She's a horrible human being. She's mean and she's nasty. And she's always complaining about why other people get money and she doesn't. Have you ever thought that it was you? Oh, she's definitely racist. Have you ever considered that it's you? But for her, it's everybody else's fault. Your toddler. I need your toddler. Uh-oh. He told me not to get your toddler. Leave her alone, buddy. Please. She can run. Let her get her zoomies out. It's better now than at 3 o'clock in the morning. He don't know nothing about being good, let me tell you. I purposely didn't move his daddy's house coat because he likes to cuddle up. I don't know what it is, his fascination with his daddy. And I thought I would be able to get him to sleep the entire life once he got on there. But no. White Sox, what's happening, buddy? Come on. Come on. Yes, come on. Let's tell the people that you're going to be a good boy. Okay? All right. So, she said, can anybody out there help me? You could take that nice routine and throw it up in the air. Because it's not going to work. We know who you are already. We know who you are already. So keep doing what you're doing. Okay? And we'll be, it is disturbing. What is equally disturbing is that She has a reason to complain about everybody else, and her life situation is everybody else's fault. What happened was you got used to living off of your mother's social security check, and now that you no longer get it, you don't know what to do. However, she does get EBT. She does live in a place that is rent free. She's getting money some kind of way. She doesn't pay for electricity. You are already the beneficiary of damn near every state program and federal program that exists. But you're worried about somebody else getting it? Well, Harley, mommy was a money grab for a while. Remember when she said she had to pay for her mother's funeral? And then, oops, we found out that her sister and them took care of it. And rest in peace to her mother. Losing a parent, period, is difficult. It doesn't cause you to be mean to people and to be racist and to get every government assistance program and be mad that somebody else might get it. You already got it, dear. So what are you complaining about? Mad that somebody else has a job while she took the last 10 years and took care of her mother. That's why you don't have a work history. And then she called herself overqualified for McDonald's. Why don't you go into home health aid? That's what you did for the last 10 years. Actually go do something that you have a skill set to do. I was definitely a daddy's girl. Because when my mother found out she was pregnant with me, she was not happy about it. She had literally become an empty nester, married off her one and only daughter just to get pregnant with me. And my daddy was like, I did it again. It took 100 years, but I did it again. Well, he didn't do it. My mama's OBGYN did it, but that's neither here nor there. And here I am. And my daddy spoiled the crap out of me. So losing my mom and dad, all I could say is while they're alive, they make you mad, they frustrate you, they go off on you, they whatever. But I promise, when they are gone, A, their words will still ring in your head, but B, you wish they could fuss at you just one more again. You would take all the fussing in the world for them to be able to fuss at you one more time. So please, if you have a parent that you're estranged from and it is something you can get past, because I know some parents have done some incredibly vile things. So I am not suggesting that you do that. But for those who may have just had a tiff with their parent, please let it go. Please. Please. Oh, Jules. I was in my 40s and I still wasn't ready. So I'm sorry. Tracy, imagine she gets a client that she doesn't like. Let's remember next Thursday, 6 p.m., we're going to do the first Lighthouse with Dee Dee. Mind you, I haven't gone live on that account, so don't ask me how it's going to go. Oh, I'm so sorry about your dad getting cancer, but let's just pray health and wellness on him. and recovery, and that one day he'll be able to ring that bell. White Sox. What? You were up here, you got comfortable, and then you jumped back down. Just because Kira was eating, you have your own bowl, and you still had to interfere. I know people think that I make this up. This is all day, every day. The only time he calms down is when his daddy is here. Because he doesn't want to hear daddy say, hey, they don't listen to me. But when daddy says, hey, things come to an immediate stop. Just like children. Enough about her. Dang. Oh, thank you, Tim. I love when I see stuff like that. And I love when I'm able to send that in other people's lives. These two. Now, I don't have a lot to say. Well, I could talk about these two for probably an hour by myself. But the point I wanted to make today and why they are on the list, and I'm sure after I say this, they'll do something different, is that since their room is paid for and they've gotten their EBT, guess what they don't need? Guess what they don't need? They don't need their TikTok friends and family. Because where have y'all been? Where have y'all been? Now that you're good for the week, you don't need them? Why aren't you updating them? How's Angela doing? Has her cellulitis gotten better? Is she no longer in pain? Is she able to rest? Well, what happened to letting us know? See, you TikTok friends and family, they only see you as friends and family when they need something. Because when they don't, they're not around. They have no reason to get on live. And what's so crazy is that if they were really proving that they cared about the people in their chat, they would come live and just talk to y'all. But what I told y'all is that when Tim and Angela don't have a bag, they don't have conversation. They don't know what to talk about. But the moment they need money, they have the world to discuss. And of course, they have to discuss what's going on in the anti-scam community because our umbrella is big. And somehow Tim always manages to know what's going on. And he uses it at a part of his life to say, see, they're bad people. They can't even get along. Look at what they do to each other, which I'm going to address later. But why are we the subject of your conversation? Good morning. Maggie, are you so upset that you're not getting any attention that you have to come in here every morning? Or are you trying to learn about the people? I did catch you battling with Zim yesterday. Have fun with that. But why being here, I don't know. You're not on the grid today. And for anybody wondering who may have come in later, hey, thank you for 400 minutes. This is the grid, Maggie. You're not on it. Back to Tim and Angela. Girl, them battling. Be for real. But then Tim had a nerve to post scriptures that I guess touched his heart on those days. And I guess it was a message for himself and for his people. And you guys know that I hate when these scammers utilize the Bible to fit their need and their narrative. And under one of them, somebody quoted a scripture about getting a job. And he said, why can't you leave me alone about a job, sending a scripture about a job when I'm just trying to post a picture about, yes. But let me tell you, there is another version of the scripture that he posted from another Bible that talks about God training you. And then he gives you the strength that you need. See, you can quote individual scriptures that fit your narrative, that encourage you. But I'm a person that wants the entire Bible, or I want none of it. And so I started thinking about the faithful men and women of the Bible and why they were declared faithful, why they received blessings. And I went all the way back to Noah. Noah had a family, boys, daughters-in-laws, a wife. And God told him to build the ark, something they had never seen before. And he also gave him the responsibility of letting his neighbors know that the flood was coming. So he had to take care of his family, build an ark, and warn the people. He didn't get to lay on his bed and pray for a blessing. He had to work. He had to do what God said. And that spared him and his family. Sorry, Kira decided to step directly on the phone. Then let's think about Moses. Moses had to be abandoned by his mother so that Pharaoh's daughter took him in as her own. He had to live a life of luxury, knowing that he was a Jew, and watch what was happening to his people. Now, he could have stayed there, living in the life of luxury. But he had to let all of that go to be a servant of the Lord. And he had to take on his back the Jewish people. And he was God's spokesman. And he would have to go talk to God, come back down, and give it to the people. And the people frustrated him because they weren't getting what they wanted. He didn't get to lay on Pharaoh's bed and then ask for God's blessings. He had to work. And when he messed up, he paid the price. He was shown the promised land, but he couldn't make it. Let's see. Who else? There's scriptures about some boys, and their Jewish names were Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. They refused to bow to the king, and they were set to die. God didn't release them from that and say, no, you don't have to deal with it. Mm-mm. He let them put them in the furnace and then save their lives so that they could show that they served the true God. Jonah was given an assignment he was afraid of. He ran in the other direction, and God allowed a whale to swallow him up until he came to his senses, and then he went and did the work. Now, I'm not going to go through the entire Bible and everybody who had to do the work to receive their blessings. But see, if God is so important to you, if the Bible scriptures mean something to you, then I'm going to need for you to use the scriptures as an example. Why am I feel like I'm up here preaching, and that's not what I intended. Do the work. You want to get out of having to beg every day for a hotel room? Do the work. If you want to quote specific scriptures that encourage your nonsense, don't expect anything to change. Somebody paying for a week of a hotel is an immediate blessing. But here we are a year later and you're still in the same circumstance. Why? Because you didn't do the work. Everybody knows the scripture, faith without works is dead. Why? Because you can have all the faith in the world. But if you're not giving God something to bless, what do you expect? And as we all know, God isn't the only one who blesses. Oh, Joe Anybody is live. I guess the kids is off to school and it's time to beg. Do the work or leave the Bible alone. Because I'm going to clock you every single time. Now, I'm not saying we're all sinners and I fall short of the glory every day. But I'm not on here saying, thank you for the blessings from God. Or God knows what I need and He's going to provide my daily bread. You want to know why the Jews ended up with daily bread? Yes, Carol, they are. Because of their lack of faith. Okay, Sherry. Their lack of faith is why they had to have daily bread. Think about it. Read the Bible if you're going to quote it. And apply it all if you're going to quote it. Or leave God and the Bible alone. They are sacred. Now, I didn't mean to go into a long diatribe about that, but y'all know how much I hate it. Next. Oh, and TikTok family, why don't you hold them responsible for actually being your friends and family and not just when they need something from you? They call that a fair weather friend. Okay? Now they beg for a week at a time. And somebody literally sent them the $300 so that they could continue to lay there and do nothing. Of course, puppy power, but that's how I prove that they're watching. They'll be live today, tomorrow. We just wanted to come on and say hello to everybody and tell you how much we appreciate you and love you. We didn't really have any reason. We don't need anything. Maybe we'll battle a little bit. Okay. And y'all know how I feel about battling. It's just TikTok sanction begging. But at least some people are entertaining. Now let me get to the last candidate of the day before I go into my diatribe. Good morning, Miss V. Welcome in. Welcome in everybody who's come in. Yeah, Pink Panther, we went over it. He's a liar. He's been a beggar for years. Correct, Rochester. So Pookie is back on her the one and only Pookie account. And I remember at the beginning of the year when she went live, she said Pookie is last year. Pookie is no more. Well, Pookie is back on her one and only Pookie account. And I told y'all the other day she was asking for $25 for her amoxicillin because she has strep A. Now, I'm not a doctor and I haven't looked down her throat, but she doesn't sound sick at all. And the other day, she just said she needed $25 for her medicine, and then she told us it was amoxicillin. And girl, they practically give amoxicillin away for free. But if you have insurance, and I know you do, $4 at Walmart, I'll even give you $10. Because sometimes insurance will actually make something more expensive. Let me give you an example. There was a gentleman who had to call the an ambulance. It was either for his wife or his daughter. And they got a bill from the ambulance company for $600. Okay. He said, "Oh, they don't have our insurance." So he put his insurance information down and sent it away. Well, another bill came in, and he was just expecting it to show zero. And now the bill was $1,000. So he calls them. Why is it $1,000? And they said, "Oh, well, because it went through the insurance." And he was like, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, the actual bill is $2,100. Your insurance company paid $1,100, so $1,000 is the balance." And he said, "But how did it go up? It was $600." He said, "Oh, that's a discount for people without insurance." So I'm not going to say that it didn't cost more because it went through insurance. That's actually a possibility. But amoxicillin, $10. I give you that. So why the 25? Well, originally it was to get clear fluids. And people were like, "Well, you could drink tea and water." And she was like, "Well, I want to get some broth and this and that." Now, I don't know if she got $1 to 25, whatever. And she didn't care what any of us thought. And I told y'all when she made that promise in that other live, and I was dragging her in the comments because I knew she was a liar and I got yelled at, I knew she'd be back. And she did. And now she doesn't care about any promise she made to anybody.
Someone was detected at your front door.
So Pookie came back last night begging for money again. It's the same $25 for the same amoxicillin, but now she needs Robitussin, the cough medicine version. Did you not get clear liquids? Because clearly, if you haven't gotten the amoxicillin, you didn't get the clear fluids. But now we don't need the clear fluids. Now we need Robitussin for a cough. Now I'm going to be honest, and somebody else caught it. You didn't cough the last time, and you hadn't coughed this live. And somebody said, I haven't heard you cough. And she said, I have been coughing. So now you need to clear your throat because people are clocking you because what you're saying doesn't even make any sense. I told you that if you returned, I was going to blast you every chance I got. And I intend to keep my promise. See, she even looked into a spot me because she told us that you have to be able to have direct deposit to have a spot me. Now you can get direct deposit on any of these accounts. They'll give you the information. But clearly she's looked into it because I didn't know that was a requirement for Spot Me. But I guess it would have to be because how else are they going to give you the money? Even a GFM has to have an account they can deposit it in. But see, when you aren't looking for those things to utilize, you don't know the details. I had to learn about how a GFM worked because I never considered one. Now, I'm not saying I think that being able to crowdfund when you are in need is a beautiful thing. But like anything that was created for the good, people who are interested in using it for wrong reasons will find a way. Every invention that has ever been made by humans, someone has figured out how to use it to pervert its original use into something that they either use to steal, connive, manipulate, take advantage of, everything. Look at what's happening with Roblox. A spot for children to play together. And now you have P3DOs and every other kind of deviant on there trying to take advantage of children. So nowhere is 100% safe. But Pookie has, and I'm sorry, her name is the one and only Pookie. It's so long I couldn't get it on there. Maybe I need to make it 2 lines. But as I said earlier about Joe Anybody, they stroll TikTok, they stroll the news, they see what's going on, and they decide to use it for themselves. Yes, there is a serious flu, pneumonia outbreak across this entire country. And in some places, there's been a measles outbreak. And they immediately think, how can I use this to my advantage? And then they come to TikTok and use it, whether it makes any sense or not. Because they don't really care about people like us. They're looking for a sucker. They're looking for somebody who says, oh, I could part with $25 to help somebody out. They don't care if 3,000 people come through their live and don't send it. They're just looking for 1 or 2. Thank you, Holy Hell. Direct us to where we can find them so we can report them all. And then when somebody said something to her about the promise she made to not do this, because if you remember, after she got called out, she went live, told her people that she apologized, that she didn't even really need it, but she wanted it. And that's why she was begging. But that if she needs anything in the future, she's going to utilize resources. Well, when somebody brought that up, she said, that was back in December. Girl, it was December 23 days ago. Why are you trying to make it sound like it was 5 years ago? It was 23 days ago. We were in December of 2025. That would be her, like her saying, that was last year. Girl, it just became this year. What do you mean? That was back in December. 23 days ago was December. What? 35, 40 days ago is when you were begging last. Like, be for real. But we're the problem. So she got trolled a little bit about her being in a movie theater because her TV was loud as hell. And she was watching the new Twister movie. And so she took down her filter to show that she was, I don't know why she had the filter up in the first place, but she pulled it down to show that she was home, and she turned the camera around and showed us that she was watching TV in her place.
Someone was detected at your front door.
So, you know, I will catch something quickly, as do some of you. And I immediately noticed a litter box, as did some of you. And I'm not sure if I was the first person, but I definitely typed in the chat, you got a pet? No, it's just people walking by. And so, because you guys know how I feel. If you can't feed yourself, if you can't get yourself a $10 prescription, what are you doing with an animal? Because what happens when you can't feed the animal? Does the animal go hungry? So yes, I question that every time. If you can't afford to feed yourself or house yourself, why is there a baby? Why are there animals? So I asked the question, and other people asked the same question. And so she told us that no, she doesn't have a pet, it's her neighbor's, and that it's a tuxedo cat, but she's just babysitting. And of course, if you have a cat, unless you have taught the cat to use the toilet in your home, which is possible, that is a thing, they have to have a litter box. So I don't know if she's lying or if she's telling the truth about it being the friends. I hope she's telling the truth. Because if I find out that that she got an animal, but is begging on TikTok for money, the drag will be so much worse. It does sound very similar, puppy. But this is where I come into my thoughts. Because while I questioned her litter box and other people questioned the litter box, somebody decided to do a screenshot and call people out. Now, you came back and you had your say. I watched your say. I didn't comment or anything because everybody has a right to have their say. And everybody has their own perspective. And so you have every right. If I call you out, you have every right to defend yourself. And me likewise. And you came for my friend, but my friend can defend herself. And then you came for my mod for asking a question that I also asked. And all the time, my name or my platform keeps getting mentioned. And in fact, in the live where you had your say, I got lied on in the live. I'm still trying to get to the bottom of that. But in the live, I was lied on, and other people picked it up as if it was the truth. See, somebody got blocked because they did too much in my live. And the lie that was told was that my friend tells me who to block and they get blocked. Now, have other people and my friends made suggestions to me about who should be blocked? Of course. And I want to say 98% of the time, the people don't get blocked. I have to decide that they get blocked. And when I decide, I decide. But it's certainly not because somebody told me to. If I get enough proof, yeah, you could get blocked. But my goal isn't to block people because I want everybody to hear this message. So I don't block the scammers. I don't block their mods. I don't block their enablers. And very rarely do I block somebody from this community. But if I feel like your presence is a distraction to what's going on here, yeah, you'll get blocked. But it was okay to just say it in the live. And people go, what? Really? Is that the case? Without any proof. Just saying shit. And I am still waiting to get to the bottom of where that lie came from. But see, people got called out for asking the exact same question I asked. And now I'm starting, and because my name and my platform keeps getting brought up, I feel like we're poking the bear. And the bear has remained in the forest, away from the BS, because that's not what I do. That's a waste of everybody's time. Y'all come here to talk about scammers and how we can be effective.
From the calendar,
Echo, stop. Jesus. That's what y'all come here for. Y'all don't come here for drama. Y'all don't come here for tit for tats. Y'all are a member of a community that wants to deal with people scamming people on TikTok. So the bear has remained in the forest. Stop poking the bear. Please. For everybody's sake, stop poking the bear. Because let me set a definition, and this is mine. I'm not saying anybody else has to like it. Let me set the definition for the difference between inquiry and enabling in the comment section. Going in and saying hello is not enabling. It's being polite. In most cases, even saying, hey, hello, how are you today, isn't enabling. However, if you know that a scammer uses every opportunity to complain about what they need, why they need it, and where you should send it, asking how are you can be enabling. Because they're waiting for somebody to ask that question so that they can say, I'm not doing good. I need $25 for food. If you know that that's who that person is, don't say it. If they're going to talk about sports or the weather and you want to engage, I don't consider that enabling. They're not talking about begging. But if you go in and say, how are you today? Have you eaten today? Oh, the people in anti-scam are mean and nasty and I don't like them. Or announcing who is in the anti-scam community so that they get blocked. Or asking how much they need. Or you're right, you're a good person, you never lie. That is enabling from the comments. And I thought we understood that. See, I'm a question asker. And part of the reason why I'm able to bring to you the information I am is because I ask questions. But I'm not asking questions to fulfill their narrative. I'm asking questions to catch the lie, to catch the deceit. That's not enabling. See, if you're begging for money for food and Robitussin and medication, and you have an animal in that house, well, now I have another question. How do you have an animal, but you can't feed yourself? You can't even get a $4 to $10 medication. That's not enabling. Because if 2 months from now she still has said cat, well, then I know 2 months ago she lied. This need for this tic-tac call out is tiring. It's exhausting. It doesn't move the community forward at all. And let's be clear, I have said that to my friend. Because her and I can be honest with each other. Now it's going to be a series of lives back and forth about how they don't like each other and what this one did and what this one said and how they're going to expose this to make that one. Guess what? And I think I can speak for a lot of us when I say, don't do it. Yes, it's fun in the moment to watch the drama, but it doesn't move our community forward at all. And then you have them who are so entrenched in what we do that they utilize our disagreements, our misunderstandings, our choice to not support each other to make us look bad. And now we're going to post the call out. You're back. Be back and do what it is that you do. You did great for the community. You brought a lot of attention to the nonsense. But stop poking this bear because it's not good for the community. Stop using my friend and my mod and the people who surround me and support what we do to make your point. It's not working. Because I'm going to come here and still talk about the scammers, beggars, liars, and manipulators. This won't be a place for drama. Leave me out of it. Because there's a scripture that talks about while you're trying to take out the straw of your neighbor's eye, the straw being a flaw, you're blinded because you have an entire rafter in your own. And I say that to say every single one of us have made a mistake in this tent. We've all said the wrong thing, done the wrong thing, made mistakes. All of us, me included. I want y'all to know something. Every night before I go live, I get nervous and I say, maybe I shouldn't go live tomorrow. Do I have enough? Is it going to be adequate? Am I going to be able to make the point? I hope that I'm making the community better and not worse. I have an entire nervous moment. And I'm humble to recognize that you guys don't have to be here. Y'all could be anywhere else. And so I try to do my best. But even in me trying to do my best, I make mistakes. I don't hold myself to a perfection standard though, because I recognize that I'm not infallible. I'm going to make mistakes. And I recognize that other people are going to make mistakes. So I don't spend my time calling out every single mistake somebody else makes, even if it's somebody I don't like. Because how can I do that and then expect to be forgiven for the mistakes I've made? Piece of advice. It is not serving the community. Because the 123, the 150 people in your live telling you that everything you said is correct and they're so shocked and this, that, and the third are the same 120 people that will be in the next live saying the same thing to them. Oh my God, I'm so shocked. I can't believe it. And she said blah, blah, blah. And instead of calling out scammers, beggars, liars, and manipulators, we're focused on each other and our mistakes, or where we took a wrong turn, or where we went too far. We can become a community that nitpicks every single thing we do and say, or we can be a community that is interested in helping people. I'm going to stay on the side of helping people. And I ask that everybody do the same. But do not hold the standard for one person that you aren't prepared to hold for everybody. And that goes to everybody in the community, not one side or the other. If you're prepared to call out people for what they do, be prepared to call out your friends. Because, see, that's a real friend. And don't wait for other people to call them out. You call them out. See, that's the relationship I have with my friend. And for anybody wondering if my friend supported my decision to get gifts and to keep my subs on, for those of you who might not remember, my friend was my mod. She is no longer my mod. She took a stance, and I respected her for it. Thank you, Ismeen. And she continues to respect my drive to keep bringing attention to what these people are doing. I don't require that we agree. She doesn't require that we agree. Leave my mods alone, Sherry in particular, because calling her out for the exact same thing that I did doesn't make sense to me. This daily diatribe of calling people out for every single thing they do, it's already old. It's already tired. Just come back and do the good work and let that speak for itself. You had your say. You provided your proof. You enlightened the community about some nonsense that took place. Let it rest. She's incredibly loyal. She does a great job. And she does it with her whole chest. Sherry is Sherry. And she's loyal to her friends too. If y'all want it to stop, stop engaging in the nonsense. Let's stay focused. And leave me out of it. Leave my community out of it. We got bigger fish to fry. So that's what I'm going to say on that. And I love you, Sherry, and you keep doing what you do. Because I know that no matter what, your goal is to do it for the right reasons. And let's be a little forgiving. We all make mistakes. Now that's the end of my thoughts. Let me see if I have a pick-me-up for today. Oh, you can't really see it all. I'll save it for Monday. So I'm going to be done here. I really hope that we return to a place where we're focused on the scammers and not each other. I've gotten in too many lives and said, can we agree to disagree? Can we just agree that we don't like each other and that's okay? I appreciate you all being here. A reminder, there will be a sub live on Sunday and a regular live on Monday morning. If you can't sub, it's no problem. I'm not going to discuss anything there that I'm not going to discuss Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. Now, next week is going to be an abbreviated schedule because we have the sub live Sunday. Monday, we have the regular live. Wednesday, we have the regular live. Thursday evening at 6 p.m. is going to be the Lighthouse with Dee Dee. There'll be no live on Friday. And there will be a digital after dark Saturday night on the 31st at 8 p.m. And we'll be calling out some mods and enablers of some of the scammers, beggars, and liars that I've chosen. And I'm still keeping the list quiet for now. I want all of you to hug your loved ones because tomorrow isn't promised. Please be prepared and safe. It is always better to be over prepared and not need it than to be underprepared with no way to get it. Please keep watching because as a community, our collective is having success. It doesn't come fast. It's not easy. It's not a straight line, straight up. It's a little jagged. We go up a little bit, back a little bit, down a little bit, but we keep moving forward. It's important. And please, over the course of this time, do some self-care, even if it is a 1 minute of closing your eyes, even if it is standing up once every hour and shaking out your limbs. Whatever you do, do it with intention, and it will be your self-care of the day. And I chose this song specifically because I think we need a little bit more of this. If I don't see you in the streets, I will see you Sunday night or Monday morning. Echo, play Respect by Aretha Franklin.
Respect by Aretha Franklin on Amazon Music.
Have a wonderful weekend.